Yo, what's up, everyone? Just giving a few seconds for whoever else wants to join, and we'll get started. I'm also trying to get on my laptop. Let's see. Wave shapers. Let's see. Okay, I think it's working. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to Wave Shapers podcast episode. Wave Shapers podcast season 2, episode 1. I just set this little camera up right now, so I'm gonna figure out if I like the way it looks. However, we're gonna get right into it. First of all, I just wanna thank everyone that's joining, and I wanna say get excited because we're about to start going into some crazy, deep, interesting conversations. And those of you guys that don't know me, you'll get to know me, but those of you guys that do know me, you know that there are no topics that are off limits. There are no things that are too taboo that we won't talk about. So we're going to talk about everything. One of the concepts in Wave Shapers is explore all things. And explore all things means we can't be scared to explore things. We can't be scared to ask ourselves questions like, why is my life going this way? Am I happy with the way that my life is going? Am I happy with the results that I'm getting in life? Do I feel fulfilled? Um, all of those things are important conversations to have, and topics such as drugs and coping mechanisms and addictions and sex and the difference between what our flesh wants and what our spirit wants. These are important conversations to have, and it's worth it to explore these things. So, I just got some text from my friends. They're on. Let me just confirm. Yo, is the audio coming through? All right. And then we're gonna keep going. I think I have a restriction. I'm gonna wait to see what they respond. I think I have a restriction since this is like the first live. Until we hit a certain number of subscribers, I think I have a restriction on time. I think that there's going to be a certain amount of time when I'm going to get like some kind of alert or something. That's going to basically say that I can't be on here for. Okay, perfect. The audio is coming through all right. We got that confirmation. So, all right, let's get right into it. First things first, like I said, thank you for tuning in. And second thing is the whole point of me going live instead of, for those of you guys that don't know, we are wave shapers. All right, I am one of the wave shapers, but wave shapers is something that the creator has given me in the form of an idea, and we have birthed it, and the baby has come out strong, and we're very excited about what's going on in wave shapers because wave shapers, and we'll get into other videos where we explain this more, but wave shapers is a community of people with the purpose of helping artists with their emotional health, their mental health, their spiritual health. One of our motives and one of our concepts that we're always going to be referring back to is holistic health. Holistic, like you can spell it with an H or you can spell it with a W, which means the whole, which means the whole of a person, right? And the whole of a person consists of three main aspects, which is spirit, soul, and body. So when we're talking about the health of an artist or the health of a young person that feels like they are called or they have a purpose to influence culture or they want to do big things, or you feel like you have a calling over your life, the most important thing for you to fulfill the calling over your life is for you to prioritize your health. Because if you prioritize doing, if you prioritize achieving, but you don't prioritize your health, unfortunately, you will inevitably end up in the camp that thousands and thousands of people have ended up in, which is a camp of having outward success but inward destruction. And I can start naming off people that we've seen this example of, but just to name a few, the 27 Club, right? For those of you guys that have never heard of the 27 Club, the 27 Club is like this mystical, weird situation where many talented artists and creatives die at the age of 27. And among that group is, of course, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and a bunch of other people. And I bring these people up because they achieve the level of outward success that most people will never achieve. Let's be honest. Statistically speaking, most people will not ever achieve to have fame and fortune, statistically speaking. But they are proof that even having fame and fortune is not good enough. Because what's the point of having fame and fortune and then shooting yourself in the face with a shotgun? Which is allegedly how Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of Nirvana, one of the most successful bands of all times, really, that's what he allegedly did. He shot himself in the face with a shotgun. So, anyway, the point is that it's not worth it to achieve outward success if you're going to have inward destruction. And in order for you not to have inward destruction, you need to prioritize your health in those three areas, in your spirit, in your soul, in your body. Now, I have just a few things that I want to share with you guys today that have been on my heart. But first, I want to address why we're doing the podcast in this specific format. For those of you guys that are not caught up to speed, this is Wave Shapers Podcast Season 2, starting today, right now, on February 27th, 2025. Wave Shapers Podcast Season 1 was pre-filmed, meaning I filmed it in the Wave Shapers studio. We edited it. Shout out to my boy Peter, Simon X Peter. He edited the pod, and then we uploaded it on YouTube. And then, honestly, after we uploaded that season, I felt really good while we were filming that season. And after filming that season, I had a lot of ups and downs, both emotionally in my inner healing and recovery journey. And the one thing that I've been most scared of, guys, I'm gonna be open and honest from the get. Y'all know what time it is with me. The one thing I've been most scared of is being a fake. I was a fake before in my life, where I found myself speaking, teaching, preaching certain things, but not living them. And so, believe it or not, I take this very seriously. And I would not come on camera to speak to whatever audience, whoever taps in, because I thoroughly believe that whoever's supposed to see this is going to see this. I don't even know how many people are tapped in live right now. It can be 1, it could be 0, it could be 3. I believe that, first of all, it's the people that need to be tapped in, but second of all, this video is going to live on YouTube. So maybe somebody who's going through something wild 6 months from now is going to come across this video at the perfect time. I believe in divine destiny. So I take very seriously the fact that I'm coming on a camera, exposing myself, sharing of my heart, but I also feel like it's necessary. So back to the story, we filmed season 1, and after season 1, I had ups and downs, and I was like not about to be on camera helping offer perspective to y'all when I was all, dealing with my own crap and jacked up. And then also there was a bunch of other stuff. I've gone through a lot of shifts in the past few years. So I was just trying to get a handle on my new lifestyle and other things. But just as importantly, my lips feel chapped. Chopped. Just as importantly, when I was contemplating how we were going to start season 2 of this podcast, I didn't want to record it in a studio. I didn't want it to be super produced. I was feeling like I don't want it to have an intro and perfect cuts, and if I make a mistake, we'll cut that out. I just wanted to get on here and share my heart with y'all. And if I can be of a resource and offer some perspective to you guys, whoever watches these videos, I wanted it to be real. I wanted it to be uncut. I wanted it to be no filters looking at. So that's why we're doing this podcast this way. There will be guests that we're going to bring on in Wave Shapers podcast season 2. But my objective was, first of all, to be real and raw and uncut. And just as importantly, my objective is to interact with you guys. So today's the first pod, so I don't really know how the system is going to work yet. If somebody can give me feedback and let me know our comments. Oh, wait, I wonder if can people comment? Or isn't there like a live chat feature? Chat is disabled for live stream. Oh, man. I didn't want it to be disabled. I wanted it to be enabled, but I think I'm going to have to go to this phone and do that. Let me see if I can do that really quick. Stand by, y'all. We're about to get someone on the phone. Stand by. We're going to iron all these kinks out.
Hello.
Hey, Lala.
Hey.
Yo, I'm on the live right now. You're on the live. Your voice is on the live. But wait,
Hello.
I'm trying to get the live chat on. No, I think this might not be possible for today. I'm not seeing any options because I'm already live, like on the phone.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing that option. Does it say on your thing? I don't know if you saw it. Does it say like live chat is disabled?
It doesn't show anything at all for the chat.
Interesting. Okay. All right. We might just do this. I'll just do this episode without live chat, but no, we gotta fix this before next week.
Yeah.
All right. Love you, Lala. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Anyway, we're back. Apparently, on my laptop, it says that live chat is disabled. So this was important because the whole other reason why we're going live instead of doing like a formally filmed podcast is because I want to interact with you guys. I want to answer questions. I want to say something, and I want some of y'all to write in the comments and be like, no, that's bullcrap. That's not true. What's your proof? Where did you get that from? And I want to be able to interact. I don't care if y'all throwing hate mail this way. I don't care if y'all throwing support. Obviously, if you're going to throw hate, just go to another channel. Like, there's no point of that. But you get the point. I want feedback. With that said, since there is no live chat, I'm just going to get to what I had on my heart to share today. And then we're going to jump off. And by next week, unless there's something technical that's not going to allow us to do it because of the subscribers or something, we're going to have the live chat going because I also want to get from the live chat what topics you would like for us to be talking about on the Wave Shapers podcast. All right, let's go into it. A couple things that are on my heart. Number one, if you don't like the results you are getting in life, you're going to have to change you because they are your results. I want you to think about this for a second. I'm going to say it again. If you don't like the results that you are getting in life, you're going to have to change you because they are your results. You see, the results, the fruit, the harvest of everything that we experience in our life, they are exactly that. They're results. But results will always point to the input. So what are you inputting into life that you're getting these results? And if it's your results in your life, then if you want to change your results in your life, the input needs to change, which would be you. Which brings me to this concept, and some of these concepts may go over your head. Some of these concepts go over my head. I'm not saying that I completely understand and have to a perfect understanding every topic that I'm going to bring up on this podcast, because in fact, that's the point, that we need to explore things that we don't understand in order to be able to understand them. You need to go look for the answers for things that you don't know yet in order to come into new revelation and to come into new knowledge. So if we contemplate that statement for a second, that basically brings us to the hard truth that we have to face, that your problem is not the world around you. Your problem is not how you physically look. Your problem is not your parents or your friends. Your problem is not how much money you have or don't have. Your problem is not that you're not talented enough. Your problem is not that you don't have love in your life. None of these things are your problem. If we're going to say that you have a problem, which in reality you don't, but if you're not happy with your life, then there's a problem, right? There's something that needs to be addressed or solved. And I'm telling you that if you're not happy with your life, you need to focus not on changing the things that you think you're not happy with your life about, not changing the circumstance, not changing how, don't focus on changing how much money you make. Don't focus on changing, I need to change these friends, I need to change this. First, you need to look inside. Because when you look inside and you start to change who you are for the better, then the results that you will get as a person in your overall life will change for the better. And this is something that I am absolutely certain of because I'm living it. You know, without going too deep down a rabbit hole, when I was 21 years old, I lived a tragedy and I got mad at life. I got mad at God. I got mad at the world. And I decided to rebel. And I allowed that bitterness and that fear to change who I was for the worse, not for the better. And I started to become a more selfish person. I started to become a more pride-filled person. I started to become a more vain person. I started to become this worse negative version of myself, and therefore all the results I was getting in life were worse and more negative. And 4 years ago, it's going to be 4 years in March, I had a moment where I came to a decision. And the most important decision that you can ever come to, my friend, is what do you really want? What do you want? Man, don't let some person on YouTube tell you what you want. Don't let some guru tell you what you want. Don't let some book tell you what you want. Don't let some pastor tell you what you want. Don't let some spiritual leader tell you what you want. What do you want? Because you're the one who's going to have to deal with your own life. You're the one who's going to have to live your life experience. I kind of wanted to see how long this was going to be, but I don't think I'm going to be able to see that now. Oh, can I? Nope, can't see it on this side. Anyway, I'm just going to say what I need to say and then we'll jump off here. Anyway, what do you want? That's the most important thing you can ever decide. Because until you decide what you want, you will never start to discover how to get there. I'll say that again. Until you discover and decide what you want out of life, you'll never figure out how to get there. And you'll never be able to actually take the steps to get there. What do you really want? The goal here is to move beyond what you think you want, what you've been tricked to thinking that you want, and to find at the core what you really want. Why do I say that you've been tricked into thinking what you want? Or you have the wrong idea maybe of what you want? Because there's something called cultural programming. And cultural programming, I hate to bring it down to so freaking simple as this, but cultural programming is indoctrinating. Do you guys know that word? Is indoctrinating us to think that what we want is fame and fortune and relationships and results and this and all this other things. So if you think that you want that and you go down the rabbit hole of chasing that, first of all, you'll probably never get it because it's not a properly defined idea. But even if you did get a part of that idea, you can gain the world and lose your soul. So if you gain the world and lose your soul, or you get all this outward success but you find yourself depressed, then is that really that success? Is that really what you really wanted? Or were you tricked and deceived into thinking that you want that? You get what I'm saying? Here's an idea. What if all of us humans, at the core of who we are, what if we all want the same things? I want you to think about this. What if me and you, and the person living halfway across the world, old people, young people, religious people, non-religious people, from all different cultures, what if we all want similar things? What if the human race was created to want similar things? Well, if that was the case, I would make an argument, even if we use different words, that those things that we all want are things such as peace, fulfillment, to feel like we matter, and to feel like we have a purpose, and to feel like we're on purpose, to love and be loved. And there could be a few other things added to that, but do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments. If there's no comments enabled right now, let me know on Instagram. By the way, go follow me on Instagram. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe right now. Share it with somebody. We're not going to have some of the benefits of this YouTube channel until we hit 1,000 subscribers. So help me get there, y'all. We got to talk about these things. All right? Most people on YouTube are talking about bullshit. I'm not cursing because I put kids enabled, but there's going to be some wild language on here sometimes. It is what it is, all right? Anyway, the point is that, do you agree with me? Would you say that maybe you've been chasing all these different things, but maybe what you really want is to be full of joy at the core of who you are? Maybe at the core of who you are, maybe what you really want is to be at peace, to lay down at night and feel like you are living a good life, Isn't that what we really want? Because there's people that make money hand over fist. There's people that have relationships. There's people that have success. There's people that have all this stuff. But they need to get hammered drunk in order to go to sleep, or smoke a bunch of weed, or do a bunch of different crap, or they can't sleep, they're anxious, they need to play video games for hours, they need the social media validation. You're on freaking social media, you're on Instagram looking to see who liked your crap 30 times subconsciously a day. Like, those things are not even the intrinsically evil things. Those things point to the fact that you're not really okay, is the point. So in order for us to really be okay, what we need is peace. What we need is fulfillment. Is that what you really want? Remember I said earlier in this video, don't let somebody on YouTube tell you what you really want. That's why I'm asking you, is that what you really want? And that's worth it to consider. There is no peace. Let's say one of the things that we all want, doesn't matter what you believe, is peace, right? There is no peace without purpose. I dare you to say that out loud. Yo, when you watch these Wave Shapers podcast videos, you should watch it somewhere where like you can just say stuff out loud and stuff, and you're not gonna feel too weird. Although, if you're out in public, say it out loud. People are weird anyway. But I dare you to say this. I dare you to say, there is no peace without purpose. There is no peace without purpose. Purpose will haunt you. It will frustrate your accomplishments. What do I mean by this? There's this example that I heard a long time ago, and I'm going to start winding down here to not go too ham on this first podcast. I'm also kind of tired. I'm still dealing with the jet lag. I just came back from Japan. The jet lag from all of my setbacks. Shout out to Frankie J. I'm gonna just give shout outs wild on here. That's the crazy thing about the live, is that I'm just speaking off the cuff here, like JC on the Sermon of the Mount. I heard this story a while ago. Probably not gonna say it verbatim, but the general idea is this. What if you were gifted a beautiful watch? I really enjoy watches. There are some beautiful watches. Thank God I have been able to finally, over a long period of time, transition my For You page on Instagram from booty cheeks, not interested, not interested, not interested. Gosh, it's crazy how they try to just, this culture is just so sexualized, and they just try to throw cheeks all over your freaking thing. Actually, in reality, it's a mix of the algorithm and these girls out here that are just trying to throw their own cheeks for validation, but that's not the point. The point is that over a period of time, I have not interested so many cheeks, it's ridiculous. Up until the point where I'm thankful now that my For You page is things that I'm actually interested in. And one of those things is watches. So these Cartier, these Rolexes, these Ham, Tag Heuer, all these different awesome watch companies, they be coming up on my thing. I like vintage looking watches. What if you were gifted a beautiful watch? And this watch was, in 2025, incredibly technologically advanced. You had ChatGPT built up into this watch. This watch would help you solve problems. It told you the weather. It helped keep your schedule on your events, and it did a bunch of different things. But this watch didn't tell time. It'd kind of be a frustrating situation, because yes, all these other things are awesome, but the purpose of a watch is to tell time. So as good as all these other things are, the watch is not really fulfilling its purpose. And therefore, as a watch, if we're categorizing it as a watch, then it's a failure. You get me? If we're gonna call it something else, then it's cool that it does all these other things. But if we're calling it a watch, if what a watch is what it is, but it doesn't tell time, then it's a failure. And I bring up that idea so that you can look at your own life and you can look at yourself as a watch. And our life has so many different components to it, right? There's so many different things that we can do. We can spend our time doing, we can spend our days chasing. But there is one thing, the telling time aspect of your life, which is your purpose. Which means you were created to primarily do something, a function, to fulfill that function. And if you do a whole bunch of stuff, if you gain the world, as they say, but you don't fulfill that function, you, by definition, are a failure. And being a failure because you didn't fulfill your purpose will basically put you in a situation where you will never be able to have peace. And therefore, the statement that I had you repeat earlier, there is no peace without purpose. So, what do you really want? And if one of the things that you really want is peace, then you can't be a failure. And if you're not going to be a failure, then you need to have success. And the way to have success is to be on your way to fulfilling your purpose, what you were created for. We're going to go deeper into this in other podcasts, but I'm going to finish with this. Because sometimes I'm just going to drop ideas and drop like concepts, and then we're going to come back around and we're going to circle and explore those things a little bit more. But I'm going to finish with this. What is success? What is success? What is success to you? It's kind of that question that we were also asking a few minutes ago, which is, what do you want? And Nightingale had pretty much the most accurate, perfect definition of success that I've ever heard. Earl Nightingale, he said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What does that mean? That means that the definition of success is to know where you want to go, where you want to end up, who you want to become. That desire or that idea of where you want to go is actually worth it, right? Like if you actually get there, it's going to be good. You're going to be proud of it. It's going to have been worth all the effort to get there. And if you're on your way to that, then you are successful right now. Okay, so let's say I have a realization of my purpose. I have a realization of where I want to end up 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And I ask myself that question, Rue, what do you want? What do you want? And I paint that picture. And I see that picture. And from that picture, I work backwards and I derive goals. And I derive a lifestyle that I would have to live in order to achieve that someday. Then success is this. If I'm on my way there, then I'm successful. So success is not a place to be, it's a person to be. Success is not a one-time achievement. Success is not I reached a certain amount of money in my bank or I reached this. No, success is I'm becoming who I was made to be. I'm on my way to having the life that I really want to have. And all of this without deception. Because we can be deceived. Again, let's go back to Kurt Cobain or Amy Winehouse. Their idea of success, what they were, now we weren't in their minds, but what they were apparently chasing by being in bands and elevating to fame and playing shows of tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, wherever they were going, apparently when they got there was something that was wrong. They were deceived because they got there and they felt so empty and so low that they chose to kill themselves. So again, to ask yourself what you want, to have connection with your creator, to find out what your purpose is, to paint that picture, to figure out the road there, and then to be on your way there, that is success. Because we don't really even know how long we're going to live, guys. We don't know what's in store for tomorrow. So success can't be something that's going to happen someday. It has to be something that we can experience in the now by the way that we're living our life and the direction that our life is headed. So I want you to think about that. Guys, if these conversations are conversations that sometimes they may interest you, sometimes you want to hear them. Honestly, sometimes you don't want to hear them, but you know you need to hear them. And you know we need to be talking about this ish and all the other stuff that we're going to be talking about on the Wave Shapers podcast. This video is going to stay on YouTube. Share the link with somebody. Subscribe to the podcast. Hit the notification. All the thing that people be saying when they have a YouTube channel. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. And let's bless people. Let's have conversations that nobody else wants to have. Let's talk about the reality of drugs and porn and life and purpose and music and art and all these different things, man. Let's go deep into these conversations. I love you guys. Keep your head up, Wave Shapers. Till the next time. Next week, Thursdays, 6 p.m. See you there. Peace.